Good morning. We want to talk to you this morning about the life you are living and about you and what it is you have chosen to do when you came to this contrasting plane to begin with. We think it is a good idea for you to understand what you come loaded with, what you have to deal with when you are a human. Yes? There are many of you that we would tell you are not aware so much of your lineage, how your parents felt about money, how the grandparents felt about money, how this one or that one felt about their health and well-being, their safety. All of these things are transferable or something that could be brought in with a human to work on, you see. Why would you judge yourself? Why would you get angry with self when you are having an experience that you're not liking, when you actually came here to turn it into something that you are liking? Whether you know it or not, you are the transmuters of energy. We're the transmuters of energy too. We and all that is will receive a high charge of energy from you depending on what it is you are experiencing. And we will transmute that energy to the high frequency of love or to the highest possible frequency to be experienced where we are, you see. Unfortunately, there's a wide variety of vibratory levels or frequency levels available to you on the earth plane. So you have many more options or possibilities, let's use that term, of what you could experience on the earth plane dependent upon the energy that you are feeling, you see. We find it kind of funny, really, that a human can be experiencing something that is almost identical to something that they had viewed in their own family in the lineage and not make any connection to it in their own life, you see. There are those of you that maybe your parents were estranged from a family member or a child of their own even, and then you will experience the same thing yourself and have no idea why you are experiencing it. You will blame yourself. You will feel negative about it. You will feel as though you are being mistreated. You are getting something that you don't deserve. And we could go on and on in the level of justification that you might use if you are experiencing something that you would prefer not to. But what we would really like you to do today is take a little sniff around or a look around on what you can remember about your lineage and what you have heard from those that are older about your past, so that you have a little bit of an idea that you are not just gone rogue here, that you are not just experiencing random things here on the earth plane. You are actually experiencing a lot of things that are caused by the lineage, that are caused by your view of life as a human in the lives that you have lived. And so we want to give you this understanding so that you can be a little bit more gentle with yourself, a little bit more understanding with self, that sometimes there are a lot of things that are occurring because they are part of you. We want you to look at yourself as sometimes someone that's in jail, that you have been put behind these bars or sent in with this cage around yourself. And that cage is your belief system. It's what you viewed. It's what your lineage has experienced. And so you have this thing that you come in with that now you are trying to reckon with. So you can decide whether or not this cage that you are in, this creation that is you, you can decide whether you want to pass that along to the lineage that you are bringing into the world, or maybe one that you come into contact with that is willing to take on this part of you or aspects of the family of you. And so now you have this situation where you have a choice to make. How are you going to do it? Are you going to transmute that energy once and for all and bring yourself into form of what you are wanting to see in yourself as your source? Or are you going to embody, we talked about this the other day, the victimization or the thing that has been attached to you or brought in with you into the life that you are living, you see? We're going to tell you, you are source energy, whether you know it or not. You are a creator of the experience you are living. And we are not saying that you do not come in with some challenges. You do, yes? But you never lose the ability to choose. Hear that. Let it sink in. Choose. In your free will, how it is you will experience what it is that you are experiencing. This is what the God does. This is what the master does. The master knows that he has some things to reckon with. He knows that he has come in with some issues or challenges. And he decides right here, right now, to transmute that energy based upon how he chooses to feel about it. Many will say, you don't know what it's like, Athena. You must have lived the perfect life, or Robin has. Yes, we have heard this before. But we would tell you that it all boils down to choice. Whether or not this is true or not Doesn't matter. But what does matter is everyone is sovereign. Everyone is picking and choosing how they will feel about the experiences they are having, you see. And you have that choice. You have that right. Once you decide to take those bars down, once you decide to transmute that energy that you feel was your reality, that you feel there was no way out of, there are all directions that one can go once you do this, you see. We want you to stop being held and confined and bound. That's a good word. Think about being bound, wrapped up, tied up in these situations that you find yourself in, and decide that you're going to loosen those bindings. You're going to loosen those ropes, and you're going to shake them off and let them drop to your feet and step out of them. What's available to you when you do this will blow your mind, you see. To know that you're the one that's agreeing to the ropes. You're the ones that's decided to continue to pick and choose feelings that you feel you're justified in by the experiences you're having. Did we ever say you were not going to feel something uncomfortable? Did we ever say that life was going to go perfect all the time? We didn't. But one thing we can say for sure is you're a sovereign chooser. You get to pick. You get to decide. Some of you are having experiences that you're not very happy with. You are separated from the ones that you love, or there is a rift between you. That's just one example. You may have even seen this acting out or playing out somewhere else in your life prior, between your parents and their children. And we want to make you aware that it's not always your fault when something is going wrong. It's not always your fault when you are experiencing something that you're not liking, but what you are getting is an opportunity to correct it, to change the direction of what the lineage will experience from this point or place on. We've told this to people with addictions, those that are addicted to drugs, those that are addicted to alcohol. This is what you have done. You are deciding. You are the one that is going to take the walls down, and you're going to move in a different direction and bring something to yourself in form that now you can leave to your lineage, and they will be benefited by it, you see. And that's really what you are doing here on the earth plane. You're transmuters. You've probably heard us say before that we are the transmuters of energy. We can tell you here in all that is, we know that every charge of energy that's coming out of you is not necessarily to your liking or something that you would deem as positive. But we can assure you of one thing: when we receive it, that's what we choose, the best of it. We raise you and all that is and ourselves to the greatest possible level by every charge of energy that we receive. Are you doing it? Are you doing same? Or do you think that somehow we got it easier than you? Well, we do a little bit. We don't have the body to deal with. We don't need the plate of food. We don't need the money in our bank account. And really, that's where a lot of negativity comes from. So we'll give you that. It's a little bit easier. But just the same, you have a choice. We're making you aware of it. We want you to use it. We want you to pick and choose in your sovereignty. We want you to stop being a victim. We want you to stop thinking that you have no choice, because you do. You have a choice. You can live in fear of money. You can live in fear of your health and well-being. You can live in fear of your children not speaking to you. You can live in fear of missing out, of being left out, whatever it is that you want. But you have to know that there is no right and wrong here. There is only cohesion, or whatever you want to call it. It is a likeness to something that is going to bring it to you, you see. It's not that you're right and that someone is wrong. It's that somehow you are a match. And we have used this definition to you that the universe doesn't care, love it or hate it, it's going to create it. Your attention on something, your alignment to something, is going to materialize in form. So you have to decide, what do you want to see in your form? Do you want to stay in the justification, in the rightness, in the wrongness of something, and tell the whole world about how you are being wronged? Or do you want to decide to pick and choose what it is you want to see? Now, we know that we are making it sound quite simple, and sometimes we say nasty things like, are you stupid? Yes, but we are joking. We have a sense of humor. But really, when you look at it in the simplistic terms that we are giving it to you, you can see why we might say that. Choose for yourself something that feels good, something that can lift you out of the negativity that you have bound yourself in or found yourself in, and let that be the deliverer of the form of the thing that you're going to see. in your experience. There's nothing random here. There's nothing happening to you. There's nothing wrong. And even though you have experienced some things that we would tell you are not to your liking and they don't feel good, this is a stepping stone or something that was needed to get you to the receiving mode or to the place or the intensity level that's needed to move you, you see. Now, what are we doing here today? We're trying to get you to take the next step. We're trying to get you to choose the better feeling place to go rather than have to experience the bullwhip again and again and then eventually get there in your suffering. Let's get there in your joy. Let's get there in your knowing. Let's get there in your choosing, in your picking, in your deciding of how you're going to feel about everything that's going on in your life. And don't try to justify a bad feeling anymore, because it's not going to get you anything but something that is cohesive to that, you see. The universe doesn't care about right and wrong. It doesn't care about your justification. It cares about matching you and what you emit to it, you see. So we hope that you can understand what it is and why it is. We keep repeating this scenario to you over and over again because some of you are stuck, quite honestly, and we have tried every method that we can think of to get you unstuck. But we're going to simplify it again and again for you. Pick what you want to feel and see in form. Don't agree to an experience just because you're having it. And don't blame yourself for having it, because some of it's coming from the lineage and some of it you've decided to transmute the energy for all those that will come after you, you see. So get in your love state. Get in that happy place. Get in that joyful place that you meant to be when you came here to be a human in the first place. You didn't come here to suffer. You didn't come here to be miserable. You came here to get the life that you envisioned for yourself. But somehow, as you got here and you started experiencing contrast, you started to envision something else. And we would tell you many of you are not happy with it. Put your focus where you want it to be. And not on what you're seeing in physical form, but what you would like to project out to all that is, and then create from this point or place. Because it's really hard when you're looking at something that you don't like, when you see something in form that you say it's true, it's true, it's true. And we're not arguing, it is true, we agree. But you cannot move from that point. You cannot have change from that point. All you can do is create now, right now. Pick now. How do you want to feel about money? How do you want to feel about your relationships? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? How do you want to feel? Make those deposits into your universe and then stay in that feeling and watch that orbit going around you eventually be attracted right into your experience in form. Once you really get this, once you really experience it, now you're going to become the master. And you're going to intentionally make these deposits, and you're going to intentionally feel good, and you're going to intentionally get everything that you're wanting to get. And life becomes fun. It becomes joyful. It becomes a game of mastery. You're going to love it. Good day.